Hi there, welcome to Hardware Heaven. Today we're going to have a look at Hazard Ops, and first we'll go through the character creation and the menus, and then we'll get into some gameplay. So as you can see here, we can have male and female characters. It's all very basic. Facial features, hairstyle, training uniform, hit randomize, get what you want, and then off we go. Okay, so here we have the main lobby for the game, and it starts off with a screen where we choose PvP or PvE. Now PvP is pretty much as you would expect. It is us against other human players. We can play deathmatch, capture the flag type games, all the usual things you'd expect from PvP. There is also a mode where we can play as, say, a zombie, and we can choose different levels of zombie, and depending on what zombie we want to play and what level they are, we can use points to buy that character, or you can just place a basic zombie. In PvE we are playing what I would consider to be the main game modes in this game, and so you have essentially us with other human players against loads of AI controlled guys in various different levels. On the main lobby you can also see you've got all the different social functions up the top left. You can send and receive messages, you can look at rankings, you can set your password for your character, all those sorts of things. If we also start to just move across the top of the screen here, we can see there are three different types of credits. You've got the credits you get for doing tasks in the game, you can buy cash, all those sorts of things, and this area here is the war room. So we have over the right hand side essentially maps or servers, whatever way you want to look at it, and you can go on, choose ones depending on what's free, what's full, what difficulty level you want, or you can go down the bottom of the screen and it will give you a little bit of information on just how to auto match. You can go and set the settings there, or just whack it and it will send you in. Next up is our armory, so we can set loadouts in here, we can unlock different loadouts as we go through the game, and you've got all different sort of mods and things. At the moment this game's pretty much empty because they wiped the servers at the end of the closed beta and they're just getting ready for the open beta, so not a lot of stuff going on, but you can see all the different kind of extras that you can get in the game. The next place we need to go and look, after I had a quick look there, just you can see there's a shooting range as well, is to the store. So this is where we use our credits. So you've got actual cash that you have bought stuff with, you've got gold which you've earned in game, and you've got quest details. So there are various different quests as you load up the game each day, different challenges, or there can often be challenges within challenges. So don't roll more than 12 times, for example, would be a challenge, and that unlocks different rewards for you. And you can see here that as you're going through the game you can buy different things with the different types of quest money or gold. Gold does accumulate quite quick, so it doesn't lock you down, but certainly if you want to spend a little bit of money you're going to get better weapons, and then people who are in the VIP plan get extra bonuses as well, essentially trying to get you to spend extra money. So as you can see here, this is just some of the missions we were talking about a moment ago. You can see there's various different challenges, completing the map in assault mode, and these change every time you log in. You get different challenges and different rewards, and it explains it all there for you. You can also have a look at clans that have been set up, so you can join up with your friends, and then you can go into ranked games as well. So that's the more competitive side of the game. To just kick off a quick look at a map before we actually look at some gameplay footage and talk about what the types of games are, and we just hit auto matching, and then you can see that it assigns us a team and gives us a little bit of information. What type of game is it, what difficulty level is it, what map is it, and who's on our team. So let's have a look at some gameplay. Okay, so we talked earlier about the PvP and PvE options in the game, and for the former it's okay. We get plenty of modes and a decent number of maps, and matchmaking happens quickly and load times are okay. The game's responsive too, and we had no technical issues even though we were playing during the closed beta, so that's always a positive. Our only real complaint is that the mode where we can play as zombies just doesn't feel balanced. It definitely favours the humans too much, and for most players really it'll only be the low level bad guys that will be played, and they're just cannon fodder. So it's it's a PvP component to the game. It's reasonably fun, but there's nothing spectacular that stands out about the PvP in our opinion. The same can probably be said for the game engine. This is Unreal Engine and it does look a bit dated, so the bonus to that of course is that it will scale well on older hardware. So people with mid-range and low-end PCs might be able to get a decent bit of gaming in here, but people with newer hardware will be able to play in 4K resolution. So that's what we were able to do with dual GTX 780Ms, and it ran without any trouble at all. So old engine doesn't look the best, but will play well on a wide range of hardware, so it's a balance that the developer has to find. Really though, the game's main strength is its PvE section, and in fact we'd probably have preferred that the developer focus completely on that aspect and disregard the PvP. There's a good selection of maps in the PvE, and the basic gist is that we play against waves of enemies, and as we do, portions of the map open up. So sometimes this can mean that we're playing through a linear map going from A to B, and on other occasions it could be that we're in areas of a complex, so you have an asylum or something like that, and at the beginning you can only access certain areas, and as you kill the different waves, new routes open up, and sometimes that might take you around in a circle back to the beginning, other times you might end up in a dead end, but it opens up more spawn points and more variation within that map. And as we've mentioned as well, there are various objectives and rewards available each time you play, and also some mini bonus objectives are tacked on too, and they all give XP and allow us to level up or gather in-game currency or items to enhance our characters. So it all works fairly well. It's pretty standard stuff. The highlight for us, I would say, from the time that we were playing in closed beta was the Shanghai Temple map, and you know, it really was a case that all of the zombie levels were pretty good. So, you know, if you're playing it against the zombies, it's just waves after wave, and by the end of the game it gets pretty chaotic, and that's pretty good. The only thing we didn't like about these sorts of levels is that essentially zombies come through doors or windows, anything like that, and what you can do is you can fix bars and things in front of them, and that just seemed, at first it seemed like a useful thing to do, but then the more you play it you find that it doesn't really slow down the zombies that much, and when it gets a bit frantic later on you just never have time to fix these windows, so it seems like a bit of a waste of time mechanic. How did we find the other players in the game? Well, everyone seemed to be out to help each other, which is quite refreshing for an online game. There wasn't a lot of interaction via chat, but everyone was trying to help each other achieve the main goals, and it's a pretty good attitude for everyone to have, because it's very hard to get through the final waves without working together as a team, and if someone gets hit enough to take them down in terms of health, then you've got a limited time that you can be revived by your teammates before you properly die. So you know, the helpful aspect of everyone playing does make a difference, because you know, you're all going to get hit at some point, and you know, having someone around to come and revive you is a good thing. As well as that, the mechanic of requiring points to open areas and crates and so on works well too, which means you have to focus on trying to play as well as possible and maximise the chances of you and your team being able to get through the level with the best equipment. The selection of weapons is pretty good too, and there's a lot of cool bonus weapons and things lying around the levels. So the crossbow would be one example where you can fire explosive devices from your crossbow. It's a pretty good weapon to find as you're going along. The cover mechanic also works pretty well, and the overall gameplay feels pretty good too. It's nice and fluid. You can kind of jump from cover to cover and things like that pretty easily. And you know, the tutorial when we first played it made it feel a little bit clunky, and you know, it didn't just feel like it was going to be that great a game to play. But actually, the actual gameplay was much better than the tutorial let on. So how do we find it overall? Well, a lot of fun really, at least in PvE, and often the levels start off a little bit slow, but as you run through you'll definitely find highlights throughout the level, and by the end of most of them it results in some really chaotic battles with just masses of zombies and things trying to attack the team, so it ends up being a lot of fun. In the end though, it's a free-to-play title, so you've nothing to lose by trying it. You might not like the aspect of having to spend money to get further on in the game compared to other players, but that's just a personal preference for everyone. The more you play it though, the more coins you'll get in the game and the more you can get. So definitely a lot of fun to be had, and you should check it out.